Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to go over how to create dividers and monthly tab dividers. So what I mean is I have made monthly tabbed dividers, okay? And I can show you guys right now how to make a full set for your entire planner. That way all of your dividers coincide with each other, but they're very personalized because you guys picked out what each month represents for you. So if you have a ton of birthdays in the month of, I don't know, June, then I mean, you might want to do a birthday layout for the monthly tab. So, without further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to take a generic monthly tabbed paper. We're going to set our happy planner aside. I know I'm not using my cover as a template, shocker. Then we're going to grab some paper. I'm just going to grab some coffee dyed paper that I recently dyed, honestly, because I think it'd be really cool. So I don't need this part. And grab some paper. Have more than enough there. And then the next thing that we're going to grab is laminate sheets. My laminate sheets are in my filing cabinet beside me, so they're a little loud. Oi. And depending on how many tabs you want to do, or how many dividers you want to do, that's how many laminate sheets you're going to want to have. Make sure that your laminator is plugged in and turned on. Mine is turned on. It's waiting to heat up, so hopefully by the time I get done with this, it'll get nice and toasty so we can melt some plastic. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is grab your trimmer or a pair of scissors. I'm going to grab my trimmer. Thunk. We're going to pull this out all the way. Okay, we're going to measure our divider here. And this is 9 1/4 inches tall. And without the tab, it is 7 inches. And the tab alone is just over 1/4 inch. So we're going to do 9 1/2 inches tall. We can do those. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is grab some papers. This works. We're going to grab some papers and make it 9 inches tall. 9 1/4 inches tall, excuse me. I kind of want that to be part of it. So I'm going to cut the bottom off of this. I'm going to cut the bottom off of this in a straighter manner. There we go. Then, cut the top off. Actually, I probably should have cut the top off first. Cut the top off. Oh, that's alright. I'm just wasting time waiting for my laminator to heat up. But shh, don't tell nobody. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to measure from the top 9 1/4 inches, excuse me. Scroll down here. And I'm measuring it from down here because this up here is going to throw me off. So, there we go. Now, what did we say? 7 1/4, a little bit more than 7. So, we're going to need that tab. And I'm going to show you a real easy way to make that tab. So, we're going to go, what is that little eighth? 7 3/8. There we go. Because 2/8 is 1/4, right? We're just going to go a smidge past that. Alright. Now, we're going to move all this out the way. We're going to grab an envelope punch board. And we're going to punch our tab. Or, you could cut out your tab according to this. This is how I did it, okay? And I didn't measure over quite enough, but that's okay. I measured too much over. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut off that 1/4 inch. Wait. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, what I did was I used these as templates. So I took this and my pencil, doink, and I went around just like so, and then I cut it out. Okay. And you could also do it from the other side if you prefer. I'm just going to do it from this side. And also, if you're digging the vintage look here, you could, after you cut this, take a distressor and distress the edges. I think that would be very cool. That way it's not like a smooth ride. Alright, now, in order to get the monthly 12 months, what you're going to want to do is you're going to have one template at the top. You're going to have, oh, excuse me, pardon me. You're going to have one template on the second one. Excuse me, pardon me. You have one template as the third one, and then one final template, excuse me, thank you, as the fourth one. And yes, I'm saying excuse me, thank you to my happy planner. So you're going to have 4 total templates. That's all you're going to need. You're going to need these 4. Now, I used these templates. I did not use my envelope punch, but you can use an envelope punch, and I'll show you how to do that later. So every single one of these, you're going to keep using a new template, okay? So whichever month you want, like this one can be January. I'm not going to actually write on this. It's going to be just a generic tab. But every month that you want, say you want this one to be January, okay? So you're going to go through, you're going to, I'm going to line this up right on the edge. So all I have to do is cut that out. And trace it here. Oh. We're going to pretend this is May instead because I grabbed the wrong one. Alright, so as soon as you cut this from here, I know I'm probably confusing you guys. I'm confusing myself. So as soon as you cut the first one, you take this template and you put it on the bottom of the pile. Okay? Then you take your next template, this one here. Then you take your next piece of paper, this one here. And you line it up. And you draw out your tab. This one's kind of 2 tabs. Okay? Then you cut that out. You put your template on the bottom of the pile. Then you take your third one, line it up. Just like so. Have a nice size workspace because it takes up a lot of space. So line it up, draw it out, and I'm only drawing this one side, well, the 2 sides, because the top and the side are lined up with the lines on this particular paper. So you're done with this template, put it to the back, okay? Last one, and you just keep going every single time until you have all of your months done, okay? And we're going to do this last one here, and then we're going to go to the next step. Okay, you're going to line it up. You're going to draw it out. Okay. Actually, we're going to do one more because I want to show you guys what this does. Okay, put this one on the bottom of your template stack. Grab your next one for your next month. And what this does is it will line up your tabs for you. So you don't have to guess on where to put your tabs for which month. Just keep in mind, like you'll have to count a little bit. Like the first one is January, second one is February, so on and so forth. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put these away because we're done with them. Actually, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to show you how to do the envelope punch. So I'm going to set them aside for now, okay? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our guys here. We're going to cut them out. These are super easy and super simple to cut out. They're just straight lines. And then you hit your tab. And voila. Okay. And then again, just right across the straight line, across the top straight line. Okay. And also what you can do instead of doing it like this is, move this out of the way. This is get your trimmer out, and you have nothing but straight lines. You have the tab, and that's it. So go ahead and do some cutting. So line this up to your cut mark and cut. And if you are good with your trimmer, you can cut all the way up to your tab and then back off, and then you can cut your tab. Ooh. Or you can just do it like this and go meow. And there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all these out, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've got all of my soon-to-be dividers cut out. The next thing that I want to do is I want to laminate them. So you're going to grab your laminate pocket and open it up. And you're going to open it up. There we go. And then you're just going to put this inside. Smooth out, drop in the laminator, wait. And I did already laminate the rest of them, that way we weren't sitting there just kind of hanging out chilling. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple clips, and 2 should be suffice. I'm going to I'm going to grab my corner rounder and my hole punch and my scissors. Okay, and we're waiting still. I'm going to go ahead and grab my trimmer while we're waiting for that, because we're going to do most of the trimming with the actual trimmer. Alright, so now that's done. Now we're going to apparently warm that up because it just came out of the laminator. I still have the protective film on my trimmer. So we're going to trim this, and you do want to leave a little bit of a border because you don't want the laminate to pop open. Okay, so we're going to trim there. When we are going to go ahead and trim all 4 sides here, and I'll show you what I mean. Trim there. And on the tabbed side, we're actually going to trim to the outer portion of the tab here, not right here. Okay. And then the top. Okay. Now we're going to find that extra piece of plastic. Where did it go? I think it threw it at me. Okay. I'm going to go grab our scissors, and we're going to cut this in 2 ways. So we're going to cut the top of the tab here and stop. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to cut the bottom straight line. Again, leave yourself a border and stop. Flip it over. We're going to cut the top of the tab and stop. And we're going to cut the bottom straight line and stop. And there you go. It's the easiest way I've found to do these particular cuts. So the next thing that we're going to do is stack them all together, clamp the bottom, make sure they're still stacked together. I moved them when I clamped them. And this only will work if you have really strong punches. Okay? Please don't try to do this with the Happy Planner punch. You're not going to be able to punch one laminate sheet, nevertheless 5. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to round the corners. So what do I have the corners rounded at? Oh, I don't have the corners rounded at all on mine, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and round the corners, and we're going to do 1/4 of an inch just to make it very subtle. We're not, of course, we're not going to do this because it's pretty. We're going to do this so it doesn't stab us to death. And I said, of course, because there's tabs. So move the 2 tabs out the way. And I just got coffee from my daughter. Thank you.
There's a cell. So.
And round those 2 corners. And you're gonna have to do the 2 with the tabs manually. So again, move the tab out of the way. Punch. Move the tab out of the way. Punch. If they have a tab, then you'll have to kind of cut the spiky corner off manually. And basically all I do for that is I literally go at an angle and just go snip right on the corner, because that's kind of what 1/4 of an inch rounder is anyway. But you could definitely round them if you want. I just don't want them to stab me. It's the only reason I'm rounding them. Or in this particular session, it is slicing them like that. Alright, I got coffee, yay! Of course she drank half of it, did you notice that? But these are really yummy. I can't say that I blame her. I normally don't drink frappes or whatever this thing is called. Frappuccino, whatever this thingy is called. I normally don't drink these. I drink iced lattes. But I stole some of hers one day. I was like, whoa, that's yummy. Alright, so while these are still punched, I lied. Go ahead and take these off because we forgot our template. So you could do this one of 2 ways. You could take one and take your template of choice and mark it. And you're probably going to need a marker of some sort because it is on laminate. So I'm just going to put a dot. Actually, it doesn't really matter because this is an old divider from last month. Well, 2 months ago, really. Alright. Now we can continue. Alright. So put our clamps back on. Put our other clamp back on. And open up our thing. Ooh. Open our hole punch so we can see. And then start punching. So you can punch the holes multiples at a time. You cannot cut the slits multiples at a time, because no matter how strong your scissors are, the laminate will slip and slide, even if it's clamped. Okay. There we go. And my daughter just got back from the store, and my youngest daughter is like, what's that? What's that? What's that? Alright, so we got 3 more holes to punch here. And that's it. Now you will have to cut these individually, like I said, and I will do that off camera to save a little bit of time. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing with one, and then I'm probably not even going to finish that one because it's super, super easy. All you do is you slit right where the hole is. That's it, right there. And you just keep going all the way down the line. No rhyme, no reason, just they don't have to be perfect. They just need to be slitted so they can go into your Happy Planner. Alright, so I'm going to do that off camera, and finish those up, and I'll show you at the end of the video. The next part of the video, I'm going to show you how to do a very generic file tab or tab thing. Now, you're going to need your envelope punch board here. You need a scrap piece of paper. I'll grab this one because it's here. I'm going to cut the edge off of this. If you don't cut straight, then you can definitely use a trimmer. Okay, now this is going to be approximately this tall, but I want it to poke out just a little bit, so I'm gonna move it up just a little bit right there, and that's how it's gonna tab. I want the tab on the top, not the side. If you want them on the side, then basically just change where you are putting your punch. This one I want to be on the top, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make my punch. Where am I going to make my punch? I'm going to put my punch at 3 inches. So I'm going to punch it at 3 inches. Now, how long do you want your punch? I want mine to be about 1.5 inches long. So I'm going to slide it over about 1.5 inches. I think I want it a little bit further than that, so I'm going to slide it over 2 inches. That looks about right. So now I'm going to slide it over to 5 inches. Punch. This is what your paper should look like. Just like that. Okay, see it? Alright, the sun's setting, so if you get a glare from like this area, that's what that is. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you can either cut it, just like so, or you could use a trimmer, or a, what's it called? A blade and a ruler. Alright, so there we go. Now we're going to take this, yoink. If you want your corners rounded, go ahead and do that with the punch here. Okay, oh, we missed one. Oh, didn't do that one very well. Alright, oh, there we go. Okay, so we're done with the envelope punch board. Take your laminate sheet, do the exact same thing with the laminate sheet. You put it in the pocket, and then you put it in the sheet. So I'm going to continue to punch holes in my dividers and then wait for this laminate to come out, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with that one. I'm going to punch the holes in it, and then I'm going to slit the slits, and I will be back to show you guys the finished product. Okay, so I finished snipping all the holes. They're all done. And I finished laminating this bad boy, and I punched the holes in there. And to show you guys what I did with the holes, all I did was I laid this down on the thing, like that. I put my template on top of it, but I wanted to make sure that this poked out of the top. So I laid it down just so it pokes out of the top. Because this is the top of it, right? And so I laid it down like that, and then I marked it, then I punched it out, then I snipped it, snip, 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 snip. Alright, so that's that. Now, let's see what these things actually look like. They look like dividers. You got one, two, skip a few. You got another one. Alright. Oh, well, it's 1, 2, skip a few. Got another one, Okay. So all these work well in the planner. So what I can do here is change out July here. Oi. And put this in here, like so. And I can swap out August here. Oi. Like so. Oh, that's the wrong one. Like so. But you see how easily they just come in and out of the tabs. And then September. Oi. October and I ran out of thingies. Alright. And now we can put a divider tab in here to say, hey, this is where we're at currently. Alright, well, flip the page. Hello. Well, wait. So currently, today is Friday, but the way that I do my films, y'all probably aren't going to see this video until next week. So, we'll put this on, this page. Where'd it go? Oh, it is. I lost it. Put it on this page, and, and it pokes out just ever so slightly. Not too much to where it's, you know, a pain in the butt, but it just pokes out just enough where when I open this thing up, gosh, this thing is so fat. When I open this thing up, I can go directly to that page and be like, alright, that's where I'm at. Pull them out, decorate them, make them pretty, all that hoopla. You can also decorate this as well. I actually flipped it and made the pretty side, the back side, and the plain side, the front side, but you could definitely decorate this. You can put stickers on here. You can put, you know, whatever you want. There's labels. You can put labels on here for, like, hey, remember this, remember that, blah, blah, blah. So, that is how you make divider tabs. This is probably the longest video of all of them. Jeez, my knees. So, I actually ended up making, like, 3 different videos trying to combine it into one. So, actually, I'm not sure when you're going to see this video because I forgot there's 3 more before it. Anyway, that is not the end of the series. Got one more thing I want to show you guys how to make, and that is a closure out of this nice, pretty lace. Very, very pretty and elegant, and, but it's not so plain. You've got a... Hopefully you guys' happy planner's not quite as fat as mine. It's just so cumbersome. Anyway, so you've got a nice pretty cover here. Or, not cover, but closure. Closure. My mind couldn't think. Anyway, that's what we're going to go over in the next video. So, stay tuned. And thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time. Bye, guys.